All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Sounds Like Life with Darryl Worley. That'd be me. I'm in my first choice farm and lawn get up today, man. I've got full battle rattle on. And yeah, man, I wear that stuff a lot, but these caps are like, I mean, it's just, it's like going home and laying down in your bed. These are my favorite ones. I know there's all kinds of caps now, but I think these were like some of the first ones.
Those hats are like gold.
Man, they're just like a old handkerchief that you carry in your pocket. I roll this thing up, stick it in my bag, and when I take it out, and put it on. It's
Customers,
awesome.
that's their thing. If one of them wears out, they're back in here. Can I get another hat? And
I know, and they want these. There's an orange one too.
Yeah.
But the other stuff, if you say like, well, I got this gray one, and it's more conform. I mean, it not conform, but it's more rigid. And they're like, nah, what about one of those that kind of just goes down on your head? I'm
believe
like,
it or not, they like the dirty brown look. And
Yes,
so the
I
brown,
do too.
and yeah.
Well, this hat's
huge.
filthy, and you can't tell it. Let me know if you smell it. I'll take it off.
Well, I've got about 5 of them riding around in my truck, and I keep trying to go, like, we sell these amazing cool hats that are structured, and
Yes.
some of the flat bill stuff, which is coming back. And I'll every so often, I'm like, I love this hat. I'll try it on. And my wife will just look at me and kind of shake her head. And she's like, it's just not you. You got to have the brown first choice hat on. So
I love to get this old bill folded down, and curved just right, put that redneck roll on it.
oh, yeah.
Got a call last night from an old friend's wife, said, I hate to bother you. Well, Johnny Ray fell off the wagon. He's been gone all afternoon. Well, man, we just wanted to do this, and we're going to do this with some of our other sponsors, too. I mean, it's not really, this one is definitely not all about that, but we wanted to get you guys on here to talk about First Choice and the stores and locations, to talk, but also to, you guys are the most, you're the sponsor that's most involved in my career and have been for a long time. You guys basically sponsor the tour. And Chuck, you mentioned this, how we all had a relationship before any of this ever happened, even before this place here was finished. And I came over one day. It was, I don't think you could, were you here the very first time I came in? And
No.
No, you were not here. It was just me and Ron and Julianne. And after I was sitting there talking to Ron for about 5 minutes, and my manager had driven all the way from Nashville, and she goes, there's no need for me to be here. She said, I can see where this is going. And so we duck hunt together. We hang out when we have time. We're all very, very busy. But I thought it would be cool to get you guys on here and let you have a little time to talk about the business. Obviously, I called Ron the other day. I was on my big tractor bush hogging, and we got to talking about how, if ever we parted ways, it would not be because there was anything wrong. I said I love you guys like family, and to me, it ain't about the business. It would be weird not to have y'all as a part of what I do, and me a part of what y'all do. But Julianne and I have been working on some really cool ideas going forward, and we've got some stuff to present to y'all, so we'll do that when the time's right. And but hey, man, let's just talk about First Choice Farm and Lawn for a little while, and what all y'all have got going on. I'd like for you to talk about the different locations, and then anything else that crosses your mind.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And one of the things that has been so awesome about our relationship is, Darryl is truly our people. He's our neighbor, he's our friend, he's our customer. And, being able to have a relationship, especially with a celebrity personality like Darryl, and really having them be your friend and the person that you can sit down and talk to at any point is so amazing. So Darryl truly represents the Kubota brand and First Choice, and all the things that he does. And has always been greatly appreciated, especially when he's geared out. It just makes my heart a little happy.
I wear it a lot when you ain't around.
Yeah, so, if I can see Darryl at a concert and I see that old brown First Choice hat on, I'm just like, yes. So that has been a great relationship for us, and hopefully will continue for a long time. but yeah, so like I said, Darryl has plugged us here and there. But the great thing is Darryl was a Kubota customer and a first choice customer long before we ever had any of our marketing relationships, and so we are truly blessed to know Darryl as a friend and as a partner. But
right back at you, buddy. This guy here was the first one to ever contact me.
Yeah,
I remember getting that phone call, and I thought, Chuck Parks. and I go, that's the Kubota guys.
Yeah, and like we were talking about earlier, we've had a relationship before we became partners, so to speak. But it's an easy match for us.
Oh, yeah.
And, the whole country scene, the tractors, and just
Sure.
like the song Tractor Time,
Yes.
Yeah.
Video to come.
It is. It's a very easy relationship. And the country that you live out there, if you had never seen Highway 203 between here and Collinwood, it's probably one of the prettier roads in the country.
It's beautiful.
And Darryl lives out in the middle of that. And, the hay fields, the creeks, just the hills. It's just beautiful country.
Gorgeous.
And when you go out that way and you see Kubota equipment, which
Yes,
it's
sir.
all up and down that road
Yes, it
there.
is. Hey, I had a little something to do with that.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can get my Uncle Joe in here and make him buy a tractor, we can get anybody.
Well, and you go by the Jones out there, and it
Yes.
looks like a little dealership.
That's right.
And he's created a beautiful place out there.
He sure has. It's absolutely
Anyway,
gorgeous.
Yeah, the relationship is just a very easy one and makes sense, and we've clicked, from the beginning.
Yeah, it's and I will tell you from a lot of experience. I told Ron this talking to him on the tractor the other day. I said, it's not always this way, and that's unfortunate, but it's such that when you walk into one of these, like ours has been, is immediately you go, okay, this is different. And this is going to be really cool, and we'll work this out. Whatever it is, we're going to come up with some kind of a deal because we want to hang out and spend time together. That's very unusual in business, and so I feel very blessed. And I want to, while we're on that, I want to thank you again, you and Anna, for letting us use Coral Ridge Airbnb. Dude, talk about beautiful. Your place out there is ridiculous. I didn't know you guys basically had to cut switchbacks to get down to the creek. I told her, I said, look, they got switchbacks. And listen to this. I was cooking deer meat on the grill, and it was getting done, and Mike was running camera. And I said, Mike, look, the deer are coming out down at the creek. And I'm thinking, we're cooking backstrap and we're filming the deer at the same time. It worked out perfect,
Lots of
man.
nature out there.
It
for
was
sure.
so good. Thank you.
That was one of the things that always struck me. Of course, we're from our lives and business was always based in Obion County, which is kind of the far northwest corner of the state, Mississippi River, Kentucky state line. And when we had the opportunity to come to Savannah early on and acquire this territory, I had never been to Hardin County in my life.
You are kidding.
No, never driven through. I think maybe going down 45, the Mississippi to the beach was about as close
That
as
is
I had
crazy,
ever
man.
gotten down here. So
That makes me laugh.
my twin brother Ron, who's not sitting here, he's chasing his daughter on rodeo adventures, which is
Yes.
incredible this week. But we started driving around down here. We're like, my goodness, this is just beautiful country.
Yeah.
We don't have a rock within 50 miles of us where we live.
Right.
So seeing these rock bottom creeks
Right.
and just all the terrain and the people, within 2 days, we're like, this is it. Like, this is home. This is where we want to be. But, this part of the state, it just has so much to offer. From outdoors, whether it's hunting, fishing, biking, the lakes, the rivers, even down on the creek there at Chuck's, being able to walk
Indian,
down and
yeah.
catch smallmouth.
Oh, yeah, man.
Caught some sauger last year. I had to look it up. I was like, I don't even know what this is I'm catching.
Thought it was a walleye.
Yeah.
Well, they have introduced walleye into the Tennessee River now, and they're doing really, really well. But we've always had the sauger. As a matter of fact, Bill Dance put on an annual sauger tournament here at Pickwick for the last 50 years, whatever. And I was the same way. The very first time I ever caught a sauger, I was like, okay, it's like a squirrel fish or something.
I
didn't know what it
I know
was.
I do not need to put my thumb in there. That's
Don't go.
that was apparent pretty quick.
Yes, sir. Them big old teeth. It's got that pike relative to the pike,
Yeah.
But yeah, we're blessed around here. I have to say we don't have a lot of the stuff that y'all have where you are. We haven't grown to that. I don't really know if this place will ever change a whole lot.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing.
Not at all. Not at all.
And so, yeah, but what we do have is absolutely insane rivers and streams. And you know, when you said those rock bottom creeks, so many people that I've talked to that come here to maybe go kayaking on the Indian Creek or come our way, whatever, they're like, where in the world? Like big old limestone outcroppings and stuff. They're like, what is this? And I'm like, yeah, we got a pretty cool spot around here, you know.
And there's a lot of neat things that are growing in the area and just kind of relating around that outdoor industry. So it's exciting to see that and glad we get to be a part of a lot of that around here. So
well, we're thankful for you guys. I'm telling you, this town has really embraced y'all. And, you know, I can tell you for sure that ain't always the way it is. And so, but y'all are, you know, there's just something about West Tennessee and the West Tennessee people. I say this all the time. People think I'm crazy. My wife thinks I'm crazy. She thinks I'm crazy for wishing that I could just spend all my time here. And I said, if I had more time, I could probably get you out. And after about a month of day after day taking you places you've never been in this county before, you'd be like, I love this place.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so anyway.
But no, so I mean, we got our start. I'm Don, and I've got my twin brother Ron, and then our oldest brother Chuck. But we got our start pretty young. I worked in banking for several years for a bank that's since been purchased, but had a lot of experience there. And then Ron, right out of college, went to work for it was a small Kubota dealer in Union City, and single location. And he started, I think, his first few months, he was strictly stocking parts on the shelf.
Right.
So he literally worked his way through every department, parts, service, sales, and within a couple of years was kind of in a management level in that dealership. So,
and he got a really good feet on the ground understanding of how that business operated.
Yeah, 100%. You know, there's a guy named Danny Montgomery that Ron worked for, who trained him. And, you know, Danny ran and operated a business with a certain level of intensity that I think is hard to replicate, and never let pressure off of Ron. I mean, it's if it didn't matter if it was a technician or a truck driver, if a mistake was made, it wasn't their fault. It was Ron's fault. So
I don't see Ron being at that place very long.
But he, you know, he took his chewings with the best of them and went on and learned everything he could. And then the opportunity came up for us to be able to purchase that dealership. And
I thought you did.
Yeah, so that was kind of how we got started. So we went around to, of course, we didn't have any money. We're 25, 26 years old. And we're like, this is, you know, we've got to figure out how to get $1 million to do this.
Yes.
And so I think we went around to maybe 6 different, you know, friends, family, people that we had gotten to know over the years that we thought had some money. And a lot of them did. They just didn't want to share it with us. So kind of our last stop was some family friends named the Williamses that we had grown up with, and their children and best friends, and still to this day.
And this is Williams, the Williams sausage people.
Yep. Yeah. And they've since now are a part of Tyson, but we we gave maybe a 5-minute spiel.
Yeah.
And they didn't really even ask hardly any questions. They're like, yeah, if this is something y'all really feel strongly in, then we're in. Wow. So that was it. And we're like, okay, this is getting real.
I got to say this right quick. So the guy that was kind of the head of all that, and I can't think of his name, but he's passed.
Yep. David.
David is right.
Yep,
that's
David
correct.
Williams.
So I got to spend some time with him at that Christmas party y'all had at the Discovery Park, and I've never in my life, I laughed at him. He was absolutely an amazing person. They're an incredible family, and I thought, I can totally see why though y'all's personalities all matched, and he just said, we can't go wrong with these boys. And he told me that. He said, I knew the minute. He said, it took 5 minutes, and I said, this is a home run. Let's do it.
So yeah, and Dave was great. And I actually miss the guy every day. So he and so they helped us get started, and then just kind of step back and say, all right, y'all do your thing. And so we started in Union City, and then opened Dyersburg. And back then, you know, business was not what it is today. The market was different. Kubota was different.
Yep.
So, you know, come October, November, the money stops. So we're like, okay, we've got to do something in the wintertime to, help cash flow, bring in business. So we'll open a sporting goods store at our Dyersburg location. It's called Cypress Creek.
Right.
And I
love that place.
It's my favorite place on earth. Like if you had to say, Don, where do you want to work every day? Like put me on that gun counter and leave me there.
Absolutely.
So it has since turned into its own animal by itself. And then I think our next stop was here in Savannah. We came in and acquired J&J Ford tractor and moved down here on 128 and had a great group of people starting out. But the day we bought the dealership and came in and took over, all of the staff left. And there were some great guys there, but all the staff left. So me and Ron opened up on Monday morning in the heart of Savannah, Tennessee. No mechanics, no drivers, no sales staff, no parts staff. And we didn't have enough people at the time to send down here. So me and Ron sat there that week and we started on the parts counter and started making phone calls, trying to carry people to lunch. And within 2 or 3 days, we find a technician. Then we find a driver. And then so within 2 weeks, we had put together this ragtag group of guys.
That's how you do it, brother.
Yeah.
It's called building it from the ground up.
and started that. And then so then we finally got enough funds together to come down and build this facility here, which I'm absolutely in love with.
Oh, man.
It feels like home.
And gorgeous, too.
Yeah, we were fortunate enough to grab Chuck out of a basketball gym and teaching school and say, hey, look, he said, this school stuff and teaching is stressing me out. I was like, if you want triple the stress and not that much and not that much more pay
and not much of a raise,
I really want you to move to Savannah. And Chuck's like, I am in. So they came down here and we've been rolling ever since here. And then today we've grown out to 8 locations in West Kentucky, West Tennessee, and Northeast Arkansas. So Mayfield, Calvert City.
Name them all.
Yeah. So we'll just start up north and work our way south. So we've got Calvert City, Kentucky, Mayfield, Kentucky.
Right.
Union City, Tennessee, which was the first.
That's right.
Dyersburg, Savannah, Eads, Tennessee, which is just on the far eastern side of Memphis there. And then our newest location is in Brooklyn, Arkansas, which is like Jonesboro, Paragould area. Yep. And
I was at that opening, I believe. Was I at that opening? I was definitely at the one in Memphis.
Yeah.
And then seems like I came over to Arkansas.
I think you were over at that one.
I believe so.
But I still remember that Memphis open house when we opened that facility there. Darryl was there, and we had the entire team down there and had really made this huge deal out of opening the store in Memphis, which at the time for us was just huge expense, huge deal, big risk. And we sold 55 power units on that Saturday. Like, it was such a festival type atmosphere. Like, we look out there and there's a bunch of young guys drinking beer and playing cornhole that we didn't set up. Like, these guys,
they made their own party out of it.
These guys go get cornhole tables and come back.
That is
and are having a party in the parking lot. And I think we hooked up to trailers and we're delivering lawnmowers that night at 8:00. But I
remember it when it was all winding down and everybody was really tired. But you or somebody came up to me and went, "You know what we sold today?" And I was like, "That's a good way to start off the big bang." It was another beautiful facility too. I mean, you guys did a really good job setting that up, and I'm sure it's rocking because you picked a great location.
Yep, and so and everybody right now, the equipment business has definitely changed over the past few years, but we're pretty consistent across the board. Arkansas store, we've seen our most rapid growth. And as far as total volume, that Jonesboro store now is doing really, really well. So we're excited about that.
I'm curious, and I know that's farm country, big farm country.
Oh, yeah.
What about the M Series? Is it doing good there?
It is. So, our M Series lineup starts at 70 horsepower and goes all the way to 170 horsepower.
Right.
And now with the M8 offering up to 200. So, the M Series is definitely our bread and butter. Compact tractors still make up the bulk of the volume of units.
Right.
But the guys that are, any kind of hay work, light row crop stuff, just any utility tractor use, Kubota still owns that market, in my opinion. And we're fortunate.
I think so too.
Yeah. I mean, we're fortunate enough to have really, really good market share, kind of where we come in and our core business is, especially in that 70 to, 150 horsepower. And it's just always, that market is always changing. You got guys coming after you, whether it's John Deere, Massey Ferguson, and we're going after them. I mean, it's all a balance, and it always will be. But at the end of the day, for us, a tractor is a tractor. I think we've got a phenomenal product, and I think it beats a lot of things out there. But there are other manufacturers that have good tractors too.
Sure.
But it's when you pick up the phone and when you show up to a dealership, that customer has to feel important and special. And they've got an issue when they're here. And it doesn't matter if it's a 75-year-old man that's mowing his yard.
Right.
That yard that week is the most important thing to him. And that's what haunts him when he lays down.
That's right.
And, the guy that's out that has to get his hay up, that's on the ground and there's an issue, for all of these guys, and it's always a balance to try to take care of everybody at the same time. But at the end of the day, as long as people know you're making an effort, you're going to answer the phone, you're going to call them back. That's what sets First Choice apart.
I think so.
Not only all the other dealers, but hopefully the other brands and the things that we represent there. So, and I think that's been the reason for our continued growth and success, albeit as difficult as the industry is right now. So that's kind of, I think, what has allowed us to get to the point we're at today. And hopefully we'll continue our growth and keep that same mindset going forward. And that's really, and Chuck, you can testify to this. I mean, just the good communication with customers, taking care of those issues, that is hands down the number one thing.
And that's our biggest thing here, because this store right here is successful as a location as is. We're not out on a major thoroughway.
Right,
This
right.
is reputation here. The guys in the service department, parts department, the sales guys, when you come through that door as a customer, you are number one. And you stay that way through the whole process. After the sale is made and 3 months later you're looking for a service or you've got an issue, we are there, Johnny on the spot.
Yes, sir.
And it's friendly. We keep that atmosphere like that. And so our biggest thing here is us selling us to this customer. It's not just the machine.
That's right.
It's what's after that.
Yep.
And that's why they keep coming back. And we have so many repeat customers, and we have customers that come from way off to deal with us.
Absolutely.
And all of our locations, strive for that kind of customer base. And I think that's why Ron and Don at First Choice, are as successful as we are. But I came down here when this store first opened, so I've been with it from the beginning, and my heart is here. My heart is in this community now. I love it here.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
And I will throw out this and just to mention, and when I first came down here, I was just selling at that point.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't become general manager till maybe at least a year and a half, 2 years. But we had a gentleman named Eddie Morton.
Yep.
And he was the general manager here when I came down. Great equipment guy, very knowledgeable, a memory like you could not believe. He was from Henderson and drove over every day. But Eddie was just super good, and we lost Eddie a couple of weeks ago.
Yep, it's a tough one.
And it was Eddie had been having some issues and was getting them seen about, but it caught up with him, and we still dealt with Eddie a lot. He was a rep for one of our forestry divisions that we deal with,
Mm-hmm.
and he still came in the store probably once every week or two. He had been in here and wanted me to go to lunch with him, and I wished I could go back and went to lunch with him that day. But anyway, so very, very tragic loss, but Eddie was a big part of this store getting started up.
I remember him very well.
We'll definitely miss him, but we have grown. We went from probably when I first came down here, maybe, 6, 7 employees.
Yeah, that's right.
To now we're hitting, close to 20. And, we've got field trucks that go out, just full service department, parts department. And another thing too, and this wasn't mentioned, we also have a very competitive, very strong Can-Am Power Sports dealership here.
I'm glad you brought it up. I was getting ready to cue that up.
Yeah, and Ronnie and Kim Mitchell take care of that. we couldn't be more fortunate to have two people to do something for us. They do a phenomenal job. So yeah, we have that going on here at the Savannah location as well, and so proud of their efforts.
Awesome, man. You know, a lot of people don't know. Well, two things. I'm not going to dog any other brands. I've been orange for a long, long, long time. But for so long, I can't hardly remember. There was one little lonely, ancient green and yellow mower at my house that's no longer there for a little while. But finally, I said, okay, I've got to clear this out. And but the situation here is different than it is in a lot of places. We are. What my wife says is, yeah, Darryl, I'm a country girl, but this place is geographically isolated. We're remote to the 10th power here. And so what I saw happening in the industry, and man, I'm going to tell you, you guys have redefined it. And all the stuff you said, combined with what I'm getting ready to say, is why these dealerships are super successful. And that is service, service, service. If you can't pick up, I told my uncle, I said, if you can't pick up your phone and make a phone call and get somebody out here to help you with this thing, it ain't worth whatever color it is. And I said, and if you buy the orange tractor, it'll be the weirdest thing that you've ever experienced in your life. I said, you'll pick up the phone and make the phone call, and it'll almost be like somebody will be there before you get off that phone call. And it has been like that for him. And he told me, he said, you were right about that. And he's hard to sell. He is very hard to sell. And you got him in a big orange tractor, and it just tickles me to death because when I ask him about stuff, he has no complaints. He's rocking it. And then this over here, when I point back here to the Can-Am and Power Sports dealership, we're kind of a really good secret, but people come from all over the country to come to this place and ATV and side-by-side ride. We got numerous destinations. It is truly a big destination here for stuff like that because, I mean, think about it. You can go ride in one day. You can ride in Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi all in the same day and cover ground that it's just like over there at your Airbnb. You'll see spots like that all day long riding out through these hills and stuff. Power lines, and as far as you can see, it's truly amazing. And so I believe that at least here in Savannah, Tennessee, that was a wise move back there. And I bet you guys are seeing a good response to it.
We are, and again, we're fortunate because Ronnie and Kim and Dwayne, they do the work of 7 or 8 people.
Sure.
Ronnie literally finances, sales, works on them, does it all.
That's
and,
awesome.
And Kim and Dwayne right there decide. And so yeah, again, and the customers, if you ever get a chance, read the reviews. Look at what these people do. I mean, it's amazing. And they take the stress off of us when you have people like that. And on our Kubota side, I mean, we have so many people that's been with us for years now that do a phenomenal job. So we are truly a family
Sure.
in this industry. And if you go to, all of our locations, you will find multiple personnel there that have been there for years.
Sure.
And that we rely on every day. So, we couldn't be what we are today without this first choice family.
Sure. Well, you take, I won't get too deep into the business side of it, but when you take care of your family, like their family, and I've seen it with you guys from the very beginning. Every person that is on the payroll is 9 times out of 10, and somebody might be new that just hasn't, but people who have had any length of time at all, when I talk to them, they're like, man, it's just like being part of a big family, and y'all, and family takes care of its own. So, nobody's walking around disgruntled because they're not getting paid enough or blah, 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 whatever it is. It's just like these guys, they're overworked. They're doing more than 7 people.
That's a good thing for first choice is definitely overworked.
Yeah.
That's everybody's like, I'm tired. Like me too. But
I got to ask a question. So is this the only Can-Am location with a first choice?
it is, yes.
Has there been any thoughts of maybe doing that somewhere else?
Yeah, of course that thought's always out there. So it's just, like everything else, you got to manage territories and
of course
who's your neighbor, what's allowed, and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, any segment of the business that is, that is having some success,
sure.
if we can replicate that, we definitely want to do that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, and like I said, just going back to the service thing, it's that is definitely the way we've tried to build a reputation.
Yes.
Do we make mistakes? Yes. I get a phone call a week for somebody that, is not satisfied with things, but that's the good thing is our cell phones are on. If there is an issue, there's going to be somebody that can help solve it. And the other big part of all that, especially on the Kubota end, we've worked with a lot of manufacturers. We're the 10th largest Kubota dealer in the U.S. by volume, either the 4th or 5th largest Hyundai heavy construction dealer by volume. And that is one of the things that I quickly figured out is you've got to have a manufacturing partner who will treat you like we try to treat our customers.
Sure.
If there's a technical issue, if there's a sales issue, being able to pick up the phone and deal with people at these, super high levels within these corporations is such a big deal. And that relationship with Kubota is no different than, one of our guys calling me or calling Chuck. They pick up the phone, they call you back, and solutions and problems are solved just instantly. Yeah. So that makes life so much easier. And that's one thing that, we're fortunate to have a great partner with Kubota and Hyundai and even Can-Am, guys that help us so we can help our customers. So that's been really a true blessing. And especially there's some manufacturers I've dealt with in the past where you just beat your head against the wall.
Absolutely. Trust me. I know. But you know what? The proof is in the pudding. When you start seeing someone who's been huge and almost unstoppable in the business starting to decline, you can always go out there and do the research and put your finger on what's causing that, and you just touched on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to keep people engaged when you're not doing what you really need to do to keep that customer happy.
Oh, yeah.
And rocking. It's just like you said. When you said it, I thought that's exactly right. It's just like that old man just wants to get his yard mowed this week. That's not the same as 2,000 acres in the river bottom, but it is to him.
You're exactly right. I mean, I take my dad, for example. Dad just turned 78. He's in terrible health. But you know what occupies my dad's mind a lot? The grass.
Sure.
Making sure his yard, and now my mother's mind, because she's having to do a lot of it.
Yeah.
But, Dad would always make sure that our yards were looking the way. Now, whether he did it or he just stayed on our butts long enough to make sure we got it done, but making sure everything was presentable.
Sure.
Because when somebody drove by, he wanted to hear, man, that guy's got a pretty yard.
Exactly.
So that's what's important to him. And that's really everybody and every person, no matter what.
Yeah.
And we just try to put ourselves in those shoes, and that's how you have to make decisions.
Man, this has been incredible, and I'm going to wrap this episode up, this segment, if you will. And I wanted to say this. You said something that brought it to my mind. This relationship for me has been another reason why it's been incredible is, this past year I've kind of started to get to know some of the corporate level people at Kubota better. Mm-hmm. And that relationship is changing in a very positive way. We ran into the national guy at the RNC. Yep. And it was so much fun, man. And I could tell that he was really paid attention to what we presented that day and is hopefully impressed with what we did. Super nice guy. I mean, I can see why you say the things you say about that working relationship and being able to pick up the phone because, I mean, you don't get much higher up in the ranks than him.
No.
And he just was a super down-to-earth, great guy. And so I just look forward to who knows what the future brings. But, man, thank you guys so much for doing this. And I think we've still got some more stuff to talk about. So we'll wrap this one up, and we'll get back at it.
All right. Sounds great.
All right, guys.
Come see us if you're out in the world and in need of equipment. Look up First Choice Farm and Lawn. We'd love to have your business and be happy to help any way we can.
Sounds Like Light is a Rivertown Media production. Hosted by Darryl Worley, produced and edited by Mike Murphy, talent manager Julianne Drennan, executive producers Paul and Ashley Perry.